Naughty dogs. Why do they have to do this? Don't they know what we expect of them? They must be doing it on purpose. They're doing it because I did something wrong and they're getting back at me. These are things I hear a lot of people say. But on this episode today, we're going to be talking about why exactly your dog might be doing some of this naughty behavior and how to fix it. Let's get into it. All right, welcome to this week's Learn, Laugh, Bark podcast episode. I am your host, Jake from OnDogTrainingAcademy.com. OnDogTrainingAcademy.com is an online-based dog training site. You go there, you can see we have a couple of courses. We have one course up, we have a mini course available, and we have a lot of stuff in the works that we're really excited to be bringing to you guys. So if you subscribe to our email list, we will be notifying you when these courses launch. We do not inundate people with emails and we're not super obnoxious. We just want to give you guys the good information when these courses and webinars and things start to come available. So check out OnDogTrainingAcademy.com. And like I said, I am Jake. I'm going to be your host, just like I am every single episode, every single week. Well, except for maybe the Christmas vacation week. That was a time off. Anyways, I am very glad to be bringing you guys this week's episode because as I speak right now, it is Wednesday, January 5th at 10:30 at night. And normally these episodes air at midnight on Thursday. So I have an hour and a half to get this done, edited, and presented to you guys. So if you're hearing this and it is Thursday, I did it. If you're hearing this and it's not Thursday and it wasn't up on Thursday, I'm sorry, but it will be there. I promise it'll be there. I have an hour and a half, and I'm going to get it done. Computer issues. Technology can always be a beast, and it was for me in the last couple days. I had my computer kind of crash out on me, and I had to do a bunch of work to get it back up so that I can bring this cool information, this great information to you guys and help you guys out with your dogs. And today's episode is going to go right along the lines with that. Today's episode is about why are dogs naughty? Why do dogs do certain things? Sometimes it can just be frustrating, you know. You have a dog who you think is good and stuff, and suddenly they're jumping on you, they're stealing stuff, they're barking, they're playing keep away. Why do they pull on leash? Why are they lunging? You know, are they doing this because it's a personal reason? Are they doing this to get back at me? You know, are they doing it because they just want to test my nerve and they just know I'm upset and they think it's funny? Well, the answer to that is probably not. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to actually be talking about some reasons why your dog might be naughty. So let's go ahead and talk as a whole. And then we'll kind of get into a few different behaviors and kind of talk about ways to work on those. So naughty behaviors. We want to start to think about, you know, why the dogs are doing this. Now, I already gave a bunch of reasons why, and a lot of them are absolutely false. Your dog isn't doing something to get back at you. Your dog typically doesn't do something because they're jealous, although that could be argued from time to time. Most of the time, when your dog is doing something naughty, they're doing it because it's worked. They're doing it because it's gotten your attention. It's given them attention. It's gotten them a result that they perceive as positive. Now you can say, well, you know, my dog jumps on me and I push him off. I don't do anything. Well, you are. You may not see it as a positive, and we'll talk about these in a second, but you are doing something that your dog is perceiving as a positive, thus continuing the behavior. Look, most undesirable behaviors come from dogs wanting attention. And a lot of dogs don't really care what the attention is as long as it's a perceived good attention to them. So your dog could do something, and unless, and I'm not condoning this, I'm not saying do this, but unless you're hitting your dog in the head with a 2x4 or doing something like that, your dog's probably going to be okay with the attention they receive. Again, I'm not saying to do that with your dog. But you kind of understand what I'm saying is unless it's a negative, unless your dog perceives it as a negative, they're probably not going to continue these specific behaviors. So we're just going to jump into a handful of them here and talk about them, talk through them a little bit to hopefully help you guys understand why your dog's doing it and maybe some ways to kind of curve it. The first one is jumping. Jumping is a huge problem. It's a huge problem for even well-trained dogs. Jumping can be a problem. And why is that? Well, like I was talking about before, they're getting a response from you that's desirable. Dog jumps on you. First off, you're paying attention to them. That's usually issue one, is they want your attention. Okay, I want your attention. Pay attention to me. And if the dog is sitting there and you're not paying attention to them, well, they're going to jump on you then to get your attention. And it works. You know, dog jumps on you. You're like, hey, what are you doing? Off, whatever. And the dog just goes, well, yeah, you touched me even if you're pushing me off. Pushing your dog off when they jump on you is attention. They want to be touched. They want to be paid attention to. And some dogs turn it into a game. They run up, they bounce off you, they run away. Now, is the dog doing it to be naughty? No, I don't think so. I think the dog is doing it because they want something and they know how to get something. I don't think dogs have the emotional capability or capacity necessarily to go, well, I'm mad at you, so I'm going to I'm going to jump on you or something like that. I think it's more of a positive negative thing. I'm going to do this because it gives me a positive. It gives me attention. I want attention from you. Here's how I get it. And so we need to be mindful of this. And a couple things to be mindful of is when a dog jumps on you, well, a simple solution is to just turn away. Ignore them. Don't give them what they want. I always say if there's a behavior you don't like, especially like some of the ones I'm going to be talking about here, a couple of them that I'm going to be talking about here, you either need to correct it or ignore it. And ignoring it is an okay solution for jumping. Dog jumps on you, don't give them what they want. They're jumping on you for attention, so I just usually turn away, fold my hands, and ignore them. And then once the dog offers you something you do want, like a sit, and of course you could tell them to sit if you'd like, you then praise them, and you pet them, and you give them what they want. They want attention. And then the dog starts to go, well, shit. If I come up to you and jump on you, I get the cold shoulder. But if I come up to you and sit, I get attention. Well, which one do you think the dog's going to start to offer more? The dog's not going to go, well, I'm going to continue to jump on you because, well, it bugs you and I like to bug you. No, the dog's going to go, I'm going to sit because that's going to give me what I want, ultimately what I want, faster, which is petting or attention. Same thing with barking. Now, barking obviously can be broken into a ton of different categories. Like, is the dog barking because they're happy, excited, afraid, alerting, all those. But let's just talk about the barking where they look at you and they're barking directly at you. To me, this is the same concept as jumping. Dog barks at you, and you look at them and you go, what? Or shut up, or whatever. But you're giving them contact. You're giving them attention. And that's what they want. When they're barking at you, they're like, hey, pay attention, hey. Or they want that thing. Give me the treat. Hey, give me the ball. Hey. And if you give them the treat, if you give them the ball, if you acknowledge that they exist, in some form you're rewarding them. So how do you curve this? Well, again, a lot of times with dogs, I'm either going to correct it or ignore it. And a good ignore for this would be to simply, if the dog barks at you, I just walk away. Adios, amigo. That's what I do. I turn around, I'm like, bye. And I leave. I don't even say anything to the dog. I just go. Fine, I'm done with you. And dogs learn this from dealing with their litter mates and stuff when they're young. If they do something undesirable and that dog quits and walks away, they quickly learn, well, I can't do that because I do want this interaction. In order to get this interaction with this dog, or in our case, the person, they need to be calm. They need to offer for something different. So with barking, same thing. If the dog sits there and is quiet, we need to definitely acknowledge that. So let's talk about lunging on leash. To me, lunging on leash is a big one. Why does the dog lunge on leash? Well, probably because lunging, and I guess I'll say lunging and pulling on leash. You know, you might say, well, I pull treats out and I work on it, healing, and I do this stuff, but my dog still, when it gets excited, it pulls on leash. I've dealt with a lot of clients that when the dog pulls on leash, instead of stopping and trying to work on it, they go with the dog because they don't want the dog to choke. Well, what's that teaching? That's teaching the dog that they can pull you everywhere they want to go. And so is the dog pulling and lunging to be naughty, to be aggressive, to be whatever? No. They've learned it works. They've learned it works. So you might be seeing kind of a general common thing here. It works. And so the lunging and the pulling on leash, if you stop and you start to just work them through stuff, that helps a lot. Not letting your dog get to where they want to go by pulling helps a lot. No, yes, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, and really I think it's too long to sit here and dissect all the different ways. But just simply not allowing them to go. If they choke a little bit on their buckle collar or whatever, I guess fine. Like, it is what it is. I think they'll learn faster not to pull on leash through that than they would being you going with them and allowing them to pull. Now let's talk about keep away. Keep away is a very common thing for a lot of dogs. I have a dog that's in training right now who absolutely loves this game. He loved this game, I should say. He loved this game. We've worked on it since. Well, why is a dog playing keep away? Because it got them something they wanted and it worked. And what did they want? They wanted to play. They wanted attention. They wanted interaction. And if you're too busy doing other things and the dog feels neglected or is being ignored, well, a really good way to get your attention is to take something and say, come and get it. Dogs do this with each other when they're playing all the time. This isn't like something that's just special to people. Dogs do this all the time. They grab a toy and go, come and try to take it. And when the other dog tries to take it, they run away. It's a form of play. It's a way for them to say, I want you to play with me. And if they don't feel like they're getting enough from you, they will figure out ways to get enough from you. And unfortunately, the ways that they figure out are the inappropriate ways. And that kind of leads back into all of these. You're jumping, you're barking, you're lunging on leash, you're keep away. And really, you could go ahead and pop into a bunch of different behaviors. You know, why is your dog chew on something? Why is your dog counter surf? It's because there's some sort of positive with it. It's not that your dog is being a shithead or a butthead or testing you or doing these different things. Well, maybe they definitely test us. But it's because they've tried something and it's gotten them a positive outcome. Don't take it as personal as we as humans tend to do. Don't look at it and go, well, my dog's doing this because he hates me, or my dog's doing this because I took his toy away yesterday. Typically, that's not the case. Your dog is doing something because they want something and it works. So here's my advice to you. On all these things I talked about, and other things too, if you can think of other issues, try to figure out a way for your dog to get what they want in a positive way. A positive way for a lot of these things, especially for the jumping and barking, is to have them present a simple sit. Sit and you'll get what you want. Don't bark. Don't jump. Sit. If you sit, you'll get what you want. If you don't, well, then you're going to get corrected or ignored. You know, and even with the other ones, the same thing. If your dog is yearning attention and play from you and the only way they think they can get it is through keep away, well, don't chase them for one. Don't give in. Don't chase them. You know, I'll ignore them. If it's something that isn't dangerous, I'll just walk away and be like, whatever, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I'm not going to play this game. Or I'll do a swap game with them and try to reverse the game and change how it works. The big thing I think, another big piece of advice I would definitely give to you guys is, and I tell this to my students, and I tell this to a lot of clients that we deal with, and as humans, I think this is our biggest struggle. Don't forget to reward boring behavior. You've probably heard me say this before on this podcast. Reward boring behavior. Boring behavior is sitting. Boring behavior is standing next to you. It's things that we would, and it's even like laying down at your feet. It's things that we would love our dog to be or do, and when they do it, because it's boring, it's not exciting like jumping, barking, and lunging and playing keep away. When they do it, we tend to not notice it, and that's a flaw on us. We need to make sure that we are paying attention to our dogs enough that we can acknowledge when these big things happen. If a dog comes up to you to say hi and doesn't jump on you, and that could be either it sits or it just stands there and wags its tail and looks at you, you better be rewarding that dog with praise. Give the dog what it wants when it's doing something appropriate. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do it every single time, but you better do it most of the time for now. Because your dog's going to sit there and look at you and be like, I'm sitting here, I'm behaving, I'm being good. Can I have my attention? And if that doesn't work, the dog is going to go, forget it. I know it will work. And then they'll jump on you, they'll bark, they'll play keep away, they'll do whatever. A lot of your naughty dog behaviors are attention seeking. And if we can figure out ways to kind of curve that, and we understand that it's not necessarily a personal thing. Your dog isn't playing keep away because they don't like you. They're playing keep away because they like you and they want you to interact with them more. So keep that stuff in mind. I could probably go deeper into this, and I might in another episode, but I feel like this is a good spot to end. And like I said, I'm up with my back against the wall here with the clock. I just want to make sure this gets out to everybody. So this will definitely be a to be continued for a later date when we talk more about dog behaviors and why they do the things they do. But in a nutshell, a lot of behaviors are caused by us, our actions, our reactions to their actions, I should say. Our reaction to their actions dictate how it goes forward. If we react in a way that they think is positive, even if it's not, they're going to continue to do it. If we react in a way that's negative or not appealing to them, they're going to be less likely to do it. So keep these things in mind, guys. I really hope this was helpful. I know it's a little bit shorter of one compared to some recent ones, but I hope this was helpful. Hopefully it gives you guys something to think about. Come up with a list of things your dog doesn't like or that your dog does that you don't like, and kind of examine. Look internal on this one. See if there's something maybe you're doing that that's causing this that you could maybe come up with a plan to change. But anyways, guys, that is it. Again, if you want to subscribe to our email list, it's ondogtrainingacademy.com. Up on the upper right hand corner, you will see the subscribe button. You can subscribe to our email list there. We don't bombard you. I promise. And keep an eye out for some upcoming webinars and mini courses and some courses themselves that'll be coming out here hopefully soon. So thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. I always appreciate it. And remember, guys, you can find us on Facebook at ondogtrainingacademy.com's Facebook page. You can find the Learn, Laugh, Bark Facebook page. I believe we're also on Instagram with that as well. And let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what you want us to hear. Or I don't mind hearing that if you've been enjoying the episodes and stuff. I certainly don't mind you commenting, saying, hey, that was a good one. It's nice to get some feedback and nice to get hopefully positive feedback. But if there's something I haven't talked about yet that you'd like me to hear, that you'd like to hear about, just add a comment into any of these ones that I put out on Facebook, and I will definitely look into it. So, guys, thank you very much. And like always, we'll see you next week.